Muhammad from Pakistan. Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you doing, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
So, Sheikh, if water drops fall on a bathroom floor that is impure, and then tiny splashes from that wet floor reach a person's buttocks without while he is sitting on a eastern toilet and can't see his back, is that area considered impure? And if
Can you
someone later
swear?
washes,
Can you swear by Allah that it is najasa on your back? Yes or no?
how can I swear if I am not sure?
If you're not sure, then the default is it's pure. Alhamdulillah, the religion is so easy. Because if we open the door for whispers and doubts, we would doubt everything around us. If you cannot prove it, then it doesn't exist. Take this as a default. The doubt itself cannot remove the default, which is everything here is pure until proven otherwise. Maybe this pen is not pure. Why? Maybe the sheikh before me who was writing with it did not wash his hands after answering the call of nature. This is too much. Okay, it's a fact. It can be. But do I have any proof? I look, no traces of feces. I smell, that's weird, but I lick for the taste. What is this? As long as there is no proof, then the default, it is pure. The moment you open a can of worms and the worms come out, you only have yourself to blame. Imagine one drop falls on an impure floor. Why did you have the floor impure to begin with? Oh, it's a toilet, Sheikh. Even if it's a toilet, when I come and use it, wash the floor so that everything is pure in front of you, hypothetically. This drop has splashes. Whoa, what am I, dropping bombs? Dropping rocks? It's a drop. How could it have splashes? And the splashes would go to my back. And now I am doubtful if it's najis or not. Can I prove? No. Then the default, it is pure. Ayan from Bangladesh.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Bismillah.
Sheikh, could you please clarify for me once and for all with clear details regarding the fatwa of traveling to non-Muslim country for tourism when there is no fitna upon you? I'm very confused.
Akhi, the fatwa is as follows. In the old times, the scholars said that this is not permissible due to the fitna that may occur. And they put conditions such as you cannot travel to non-Muslim countries unless you have righteousness and virtue in your heart that would prevent you from falling into sin, and that you have knowledge that would protect you from whispers of missionaries and doubts that may come to you from different religions, and that you have a legitimate reason such as medicine, trade, education, or business. Now, these conditions are not Quran and Sunnah. They are ijtihad from the scholars. And if in modern times we find that these three are required in Muslim countries where we live, this elevates a lot of the hardship found in the past. So if someone says to me, I'd like to go to a country where I would be surrounded by the hills and sheep and nice scenery, but there is no fitna, there are no nightclubs, there are no missionaries coming and knocking on my door, there is nothing immodest, it's even purer than many of the Muslim countries. I said, okay, that's fine. I hope this answers your question. But if you want to go to islands in Muslim countries, without naming names, where Buddhist temples are there and nudity everywhere, of course this is haram. If you want to go to Muslim countries where nightclubs and booze is being served round the clock and pork is everywhere, even in breakfast they'll say, oh, this is pork. You're a Muslim country, what are you doing? When you go to the airports and you see all them booze being sold for free almost, and gambling and the likes, and it's a Muslim country, of course it's haram to go there. So I hope this answers your question. Saido from Cameroon.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Sheikh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah.
Okay, my question goes as follows. So when I'm praying in congregation behind an imam, in some prayers, I know that if I miss a rakat, I should consider it as either my first rakat or my second rakat. This question concerns especially prayers where we read audibly. So I know that the vast majority of scholars say that we should consider it as our first rakat. But in some prayers like Isha, in a case where I miss two rakats, the next two rakats I'm taking it as the ones I prayed as my last rakat. Is it okay? What does the rule says? Jazakallahu khairan.
What is the difference, Sadio?
Because in some prayers like Maghrib, I usually take the rakat I started with the imam as my last rakat.
What is the difference? What is the difference between taking it as your last rak'ah or your first rak'ah?
If you take it as your last rakat, so the next rakat you are going to pray, you pray it audibly, whereas in the other case, you pray it inaudibly. That's the difference.
No, this is not true. Either you consider it your first or your last. Once the imam gives salam and you stand up, you don't read audibly. Imagine if 20 on your right, on your left, missed, like you, the first rak'ah, and when they stood up, they started reading loudly. This is not logical, not Islamic. You read silently because you're a follower. You don't read loudly and confuse and disturb those next to you. He reads the Fatiha, you read Qul Huwallahu Ahad, and you compete whose voice is louder. No. The most authentic opinion is that whatever you pray with the imam is your first rak'ah. You don't have the right to consider it the third or the fourth rak'ah according to your whims and desires. Because if you consider it as your third and fourth rak'ah, your prayer is invalid. Where is your first and second? Oh, I will pray it later on. How can the first and second be later on? This is not even numerically possible. It has to be 1, 2, 3, and 4.